You likely have heard that there are countries all over the world panicking because of declining birth rates. The women in those countries are not having babies like they used to, and this is happening all over the world. Now, we need a replacement rate of 2.1 to keep a population stable. What's happening is there's a lot of countries, advanced countries, that are seeing a birth rate of only about 1 or 1.2. And those countries include South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Germany, Italy, and the list goes on from there. So what's the problem? Why is a declining birth rate causing panic? Well, because if you want to run a modern economy, if you're looking to have a robust economy, you don't do that with a senior population. Older people are less productive, they're less creative. That's not where you get innovation from. Secondly, as you have fewer and fewer young people to pay taxes to support the elderly and programs like Medicare and Medicaid, other entitlement programs, it becomes quite a strain. Even though that senior population paid for the generation before it, now when you have a diminished younger population, tax rates have to go up. That becomes a big strain. They can even turn into a revolt. Now, here in the United States, we've done pretty well on not aging as quickly as countries like Japan and Italy and Germany. The reason, and not everybody's going to like this, but the reason has to do with immigration. We attract a lot of people, both legally and illegally, as we well know. So, the United States is a cool country. People all over the world want to move here. There's a lot of other countries, such as Russia, with a diminishing population, but who is really wanting to live in Russia? It's not the kind of country that attracts a lot of immigration. In fact, there are people who say Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, not because of provocations from NATO, but because he's trying to put under his purview a larger population. The Russian population is in decline. When he invaded Ukraine, a lot of young people fled the country. The smartest young people fled the country. It was a really bad miscalculation on the part of Vladimir Putin. Take China. China has 1.3 billion people, more than triple the population of the United States. But its birth rate has fallen. Remember the single child policy that China had? Well, that was lifted many years ago now, and they have been encouraging women to have children. They have offered financial incentives. Chinese women aren't really interested in having babies these days. The population is scheduled to decline from 1.3 billion to 880 million, I think by 2050. I might have that date wrong. It might be 2100. The point is, the population is in fast decline. Economists have long said China will get old before it gets rich. Once they get old, they're going to stop getting rich. It's just the truth about economics and modern economies. So China's got this problem. Lots of countries around the world has this problem. The United States has been holding its own through immigration. We're lucky that people actually want to come here and work for a living and help support our system. This is the situation we find ourselves in. So many people had said we need fewer people on the planet. And I'm sure there's people out there who say, hey, what's the problem? We want the population to shrink. We've got too many people competing for too few resources on the planet. We're killing the planet. There's too much crowding and so on. But you get your wish, and what do you have? You have economies that start to sputter, that really start to sputter. Are there young countries around the world? There are some. Iran has a very young population, which is one of the reasons they have so much unrest there. They have some other ideas about how the country should be run. Africa is a continent that is very young and is already starting to emerge and expected to emerge in a bigger way. So all kinds of financial incentives being offered by countries all over the world to get men and women, families to grow, have children, procreate, do what's right for your country, be patriotic about it. Children are a wonderful thing. We'll give you money to have children. It isn't working.